Hey listening friends, I'm your host and coach Laura Malone. As an entrepreneur and leader, wife and mom, teacher and creator, I am showing up to share possibility with you and help you find vision and wisdom because you deserve to be equipped and released as the hero of your own story. Coaching really does help you change your life. And if you want to know how to guide yourself and others well, I created this podcast just for you. It's a place where you can grab tools, teachings, and ideas for both personal and spiritual growth, as well as entrepreneurship and coaching if that's your thing. So as you listen in, I pray I can help you create a legacy of impact and really start writing the story of a life you love living. Now let's jump into today's episode. Okay, so you have to know that this is what I sound like when I'm really excited, so that you can just get your mind wrapped around that for the rest of this episode. This is an exciting episode. I'm celebrating. And this is what it sounds like when I am really, really excited about something. It's also kind of what it sounds like when I am sad. And also when I'm just kind of regular. Because I tend to be like the train at the amusement park, not the roller coaster. And so if you're really up, I look down. But when you're really down, I look up. And this is just how I go along. So I'm celebrating the fact that this podcast has actually been going for a year. And on top of that, it's 150 episodes in a year. So I've actually been creating content for this podcast for over 365 days now. And what I love about it is that I know more now than I ever knew before. After years of coaching, I still did not know everything I needed to know until I started creating content for this podcast. This podcast has given me like a purpose for that content. It gave me more knowledge and revelation about my calling, my business, my future. I totally believe in podcasting, but more than that, I totally believe in becoming a content creator that has a way to actually meet the needs of clients out there that I have never met before. I did not know how badly I needed that in this world. And that's this vessel of the podcast, this vessel that contains all of the content I've created. That's what I believe has changed the trajectory of my coaching business. So the fact that I've worked to do at least 2 episodes a week for a year. Well, it's really closer to the average of 3 a week on average because I've done 150 episodes in 1 year. And all I can tell you is that I am so thankful that I started. If I didn't create content and put it out there in some form or fashion, I know I was going to spend another 5 years wondering, how do I actually meet the people I can serve in this kind of world, right? The atmosphere that we live in today. I'd be still trying to figure out how to get clients online without the social media ads that I would have had to pay for with my personal bank account. And because if I don't have enough money coming in from clients, I don't actually have enough money to put into ads, right? And also I don't know how to use, I didn't ever know how to use ads anyway. And I also wasn't clear on specifically what I offered and who I was offering it to. So today, in celebration of a year of the podcast, I want to share with you what I would tell Laura years ago, right? Laura, 6-7 years ago, who didn't know about online business, who had no idea what was really inside of her, who wasn't confident in anything, except that she knew she wanted to serve the world around her in whatever capacity they needed her to help them, right? I want to talk to the Laura who didn't know where to start, who spent 2 years working on a website no one would see for another 2 years, and who was really stuck in passive action because she didn't have a lot of money to invest in her business and herself, and everything seemed really big, or she didn't know where it was, she didn't know how to find it, she didn't know what she didn't know. The Laura who wasn't clear on who her ideal client was because she really struggled to leave anybody out. And she didn't know that excluding some people meant more value, more time, more energy for the people who were included because those people wanted to be there and she had more to give to them because she had clarity, she had focus and intention. So here come the top 10 things I'd want you to know in case you are where Laura once was. So, number 1, totally changed my life in the past year. Start creating content right away. And I don't mean social media content. I mean writing things that you could speak on, writing things you could teach on, writing things that actually nourish people out there. You don't just have a client. You have a client who needs to be more aware of what they struggle with. You need to be clear about what they struggle with that you can help them with so that you can give them language, because your clients are out there. They know sometimes that there's a problem, but they aren't clear on what it is. They don't have the language for it. And you do. If you understand their problem, you do have language, especially if you are the person who used to have that problem, who now created a solution through your coaching. So starting content creation is literally the first thing I would tell Laura to do, which she didn't do. Remember, she built a website for a long time, and it did teach her a lot of things, but it didn't really win her anything. It didn't get her clients. It didn't get her an offer solidified. It just gave her like, oh, now she knows how to move a content box and add a button. Like, that's what she learned. So, number 2, start building your email list. Get a legitimate email address with your business name. Pick a business name. I fortunately knew that my business name was Sterling and Stone Mentoring. Like, the Lord had spoken about that so many years ago. I knew that was my business. And so I was able to quickly go to Google and get an email that was laura@sterlingandstonementoring.com. But I did not know how badly I needed an email service provider so that I could collect email addresses and start building my list. If I had started building my list 7 years ago, I don't even know where things would be right now. Like, I can't even fathom where I would be, because I would have had people on that list to be able to share my content with and to share my offer with. And when you share content and you share offers, basically when you're communicating, you're talking, you get people who choose it. Isn't that crazy? People are actually able to choose what you offer. So you have to have an email list so that you could actually be talking straight to them. Number 3, hey Laura, create one offer, not 17. Stick with it. Make it better. Don't quit it. Tweak it. Pick one thing and start doing it and get really good at it. Like my husband and I say, I talk about it all the time in our ministry. Become a steakhouse, not the Cheesecake Factory. Okay, you're not there to do all of the things for everybody. Get really good. Be the small restaurant that always has a reservation list that's full and a line out the door. Go be them because you're so good at the one thing that you do. And then you can add to that steak, you can add a potato and a salad. Okay, best Caesar salad anybody's ever had. The city knows, like Guy Fieri, he shows up for your Caesar salad and your steak, right? So start with one thing, practice it, figure it out, get really good at it, get results from people, and then continue to make it better. If it's seriously not what you should be doing, you can pivot, but do it for a good long time to see how you just need to tweak it to the right people. Tweak the offer, tweak the price, tweak the timing, tweak the person that you're talking to and offering it to. And number 4, Price it. Just pick a number. Okay. Stop dilly-dallying. And then literally tell everybody you know, I'm a coach and I charge this. Start practicing it. Say it in the mirror. Look in your own eyes in the mirror. Okay, this is a great way to speak to your soul. Actually look into your eyes, that portal into your soul, in the mirror, and say, I'm a coach and I charge $69 for one session. That's a great number to start out. If you've never coached before and you're just creating, now let's just say you have some training or some experience coaching, okay, if not a certification, but just you actually can coach. Just charge something that is reasonable. You have to be comfortable with your price or you're going to be weird when you offer it. If you're just starting out coaching and you tell people, hey, I charge $175 an hour for something I've actually never done anything never done for anybody, and I don't really have any results to share with you, but I know I'm going to be great at it. You're not going to even say it with confidence. You're going to be like, this is weird. I don't think I'm worth $175. You have to get to a place where you believe that what you create and value for people is worth $175 for one session. Until that point, start lower. Start $49, $69, pay what you can scale. Do whatever you've got to do. And then again, stick with it. Don't quit, tweak it. You can always scale your pricing. And I say it's better to start low and gain confidence in that realm than it is to start high and have your confidence broken down because nobody chooses your offer, not because of how much it costs, because you don't believe that you actually are worth that and that you create that kind of value. Okay, number 5. All of the people around you, especially if you're looking at coaches online and on Facebook, I'm just going to tell you to stop. The only reason you look at what other coaches are doing is to be inspired, but not to compare, okay? You cannot compare your beginning with anybody else's middle. So stop that bad habit right now. If you're doing it with coaching, then you're definitely doing it in other areas of your life. And as your coach podcaster, I'm telling you to stop. It is not valuable. It's not helpful to you. Don't compare what you're starting out with to where somebody else is already down the road. But you can learn from what they've learned. Why go through and spend the next 5 years making all the mistakes and taking passive action instead of massive action when you can look at what somebody else is doing that's working for them and contextualize what they've done as a template for what you could do. Even if you just let it be something you're working towards, let it give you hope and inspiration. Let what others have done, let their middle to end become inspiration. And let it be an example to you of what is possible for you instead of something that you're supposed to have already achieved, you're supposed to already have done. You have to crawl before you walk. They just happen to be walking. But you know what? They're not running a marathon and setting a personal record or on the Olympic team. They're just walking, okay? Maybe they're 2 years old, maybe they're 10, but not all of them are Olympic athletes, right? They have just been the people who started a little bit before you did, and that's okay. There's no reason to compare that, okay? Number 6, you have to start believing and telling yourself, speaking this, thinking on it, there really are people out there you have not met that are just for you. What you have to say and offer really matters to them, but they don't know it yet, which I refer you back to number 1, create content to help them know that what you have to say really matters. It's actually creating content is a stepping stone to this because you begin to realize what is in you and what you actually have to say so that you can figure out who needs what you have to say. You need to actually take the action of writing out and speaking what is inside of you that you're passionate about, that you know, that you've experienced, that you can solve? What are your strategies? You need to start putting that out there so that you know what's in you and you can do and what you can offer, but also so that they know, because there really are just the right people for anybody. Number 7, when doing something new or doing something again makes you want to throw up in your mouth a little bit, definitely do it. Whenever it makes you a little queasy to think about taking that big step and doing something and putting yourself out there and having like this large-minded vision and this like massive horizon to move towards, instead of staying small-minded and unbelieving, do it. That's all I'm going to say about that one. Do it for sure. You will learn from it, even in getting an email address or asking people for their email address, or, writing something and putting it out there, or telling anybody you're a coach. When it makes you a little nauseous, that is your sign. It's the right next step. So many times it is the right next step. Number 8, duct tape if you need to. I understand not having any money to start your own business and not knowing what to do with the money that you are willing to put into it. But also be wise about letting other people show you the way, getting your coach, getting courses, getting trainings. Learn how to get an investment mindset rather than a spending and scarcity mindset. So scarcity mindset is going to tell you like you just can't do that, or you're not worth it, or you don't have it. And the small mindset of spending, where it's okay, I'm just spending money, I'm giving it away, that's not going to help you either, because that's not going to encourage you to actually take responsibility for what you're doing with your money. And you need to think about not just how you're spending it, you need to move into an investment mindset of how am I investing my money? So when you spend money, that's your Starbucks, whatever, your Starbucks budget, or your Whole Foods budget. Wherever you go spend your money, that it doesn't really give you a return for the investment. ROI is return on investment. If you don't get a return, then you didn't make an investment. And I'm just going to say, like, as much as I love my Starbucks Pike Place with some half and half in it, that's not an investment in anybody but Starbucks. I'm not actually putting an investment into me. Sure, I have something in my hand to drink while I, drive to my daughter and my husband to the airport at 3:00 in the morning. But actually they're not open at 3:00 in the morning. So that's my Keurig is what gets me to the airport. And that's why I'm actually recording this episode very early in the morning, because I took a trip to the airport this morning. Back flying around the world. There they go. And I had this energy. I was like, I've just got to tell everybody the things that I wish that I had known that somebody had told me. And I got that inspiration literally at 4:00 this morning on the way home, listening to rock ballads from the 1980s loudly in my car in the dark. Yeah, so that's just a little side note snippet. Okay, yes, learn to invest in yourself. Stop being afraid of spending money that actually is going to bring a return. And so start being wise about where you put your time and energy. You can have a lot of freebies. You can download a lot of business blueprints and all of the things, right? And you can do that, but it's not going to give you a real flow that shows you step by step what to do. And sometimes you just need somebody to give you the clarity about your next right step so you can take it. I wish that I had known that, because I did. I duct taped my business for a really long time for a couple of reasons. One, I didn't have the money to spend, and I didn't know where to spend it if I did have anything extra. Plus, I was also busy raising kids, homeschooling kids, moving, and running a nonprofit, which has to do with disaster and crisis, and also my husband traveling a lot. So yeah, might have had to take a trip to the grocery store a time or two in those years, but there was a lot to do, and my business was kind of on the side, but I wish that I had spent that time more wisely. And number 9, if you want to coach often and to make a living, you have to be an entrepreneur. And that means you have to learn business skills, you have to learn marketing skills, and you have to have creative skills for sharing about your business with other people so that you can get the clients, so you can actually be a coach. I wish that I had had the mindset of this. I started out just saying I want to be a coach, and I didn't realize what I needed to be was a business owner, and I needed that mindset sooner than later. It took years for me to really get the mindset of an entrepreneur. Even though I was already an entrepreneur by starting a nonprofit 16 years ago, I didn't have the business mindset as a business owner of Sterling & Stone Mentoring yet. I was still doing all of the other things, wearing all of the other hats, and struggling to put on my entrepreneur hat for my coaching business. But I was really great at coaching, but I coached for free for a long time, and then I coached for less than I should have been charging for a long time. But I just really didn't get the context of being a coachpreneur, that a coach really needed to be online and running a business, showing up consistently to build my business. I didn't get that. And I wish I could have gone back and stuck that in my brain, because I would be so much further down the road, having served so many more people at this point than I have, simply because I had made a committed decision to entrepreneurship and growing in my business and marketing and creative skills. And number 10, don't wait for somebody else to come do it with you. I'm super collaborative, which is why I love coaching. It literally means I get to work with people and getting them results. Like, I get to see results in my life and my business again and again and again, because I get to see my clients getting results. And I love the collaboration. I'm not telling somebody what to do. I'm collaborating with somebody. I just can't. It is food for my soul and my spirit. So I also get to work with groups of clients inside of like the Greenhouse Life Coach Training Program. And then starting next month, the Mastermind. Like, I love pulling groups of people where their questions, their solutions, their ideas, their innovation, their curiosity, like all of us pulling that together and collaborating. It's my favorite thing on my calendar. When I wake up and I see I have a client session or live sessions that day with any groups and programs, it makes me so happy. I'm so excited to wake up on those days, because I know all of the hard work on the other days that I've been doing in business, it leads to these moments of getting to work with these people and collaborate. The problem is that I kept waiting for somebody to come alongside of me and actually do my business with me. Because I'm so collaborative, I wasn't seeing my clients as my collaborators. I was wanting like a business partner. I was wanting somebody to talk to whiteboard with, to visionate with, to be passionate with. And it held me back for a long time from actually just stepping into my own and doing it on my own, doing what I could. And I was waiting for somebody to do it with me. Maybe you weren't waiting for them to do it with you. Maybe you're actually waiting for somebody to do it for you. Maybe you're not even honest with yourself or recognizing that. So maybe you're getting it right now as I say it. Or maybe you're waiting for somebody to give you permission or to tell you that you should or that you can. And maybe you're waiting for somebody to tell you that you've got it figured out, or you're waiting for yourself to give yourself permission, because now you can do it the first time right without failure, without having to do it over again. Whatever it is you're waiting for, stop. Yeah, that's it. Okay, that's number 10. Stop waiting. Go do something. And that said, I'm literally building this whole process of what I wish I had known into my business offers right now. I see so clearly looking back how all of these things I wish I had known really can help other people create simplified, streamlined systems to get going so they do what they are called to do. And that's what part of it is, that Called to Coach Creative Mastermind that starts next month, where I'm going to help coaches get the business set up with a simple flow to get clients in and a reason to start creating content that attracts the clients you're looking for. So think about your clients having a problem, right? They want to reach the top of that mountain. And so they're climbing a mountain. They want to get to the top. And they have a problem in this mountain. Like, they come to an uncrossable river. And that's a problem. That's like a hindrance on their way to the top of the mountain. Well, your content that explains their problem, helps them have hope about their problem, shows different solutions and options, and tells stories of you getting across the river, that is the bridge. So all of your content that speaks to your audience with this problem is a bridge. And on the other side of the river, after they cross that bridge of your content, your coaching offer is on the other side. And that's where they find out, like, hey, it'd be really nice to have a guide take me up this mountain, walk with me, share with me, and, have somebody to whiteboard with as I decide where to set up camp tonight. Like, all of the things that happen as they're trying to reach the top of the mountain, that's what you do as you're coaching them. But the bridge that helps them cross this big river as they're trying to just get onto the mountain, that is all of your content. It's what you know. It's all your experiences and your stories, your testimonials. It's your teaching. That's all of the things that come out in your content. So to celebrate this 1-year anniversary of the Christian Life Coach Collective podcast, I want to give all my listeners a treat. So today is Monday, April 10th. And for the rest of this week, so for a full 7 days, I'm going to give you $100 off of the mastermind. So if you apply between now and Sunday night, the 16th at midnight, then just put into your application that you listen to this episode and you want to celebrate with $100 off. And then if you get approved from your application to be in the mastermind, then I'll send you a coupon code so that you can jump into it with $100 off. If you aren't ready for that, or you are already doing all of those things that are happening inside the mastermind, you've already created a foundation for your business, you're creating content, you've already created your offer, and you're on your way to creating a legacy through your coaching business, then maybe if you want the Greenhouse Coach, Life Coach Training and Certification course, then you can get $100 off of that. And the coupon code in the show notes is Celebrate150. I just want to celebrate the year with my listeners, and I'm so thankful for you guys. I love to connect with you anywhere. Facebook, jump in the Facebook group, schedule a possibility call with me, jump into the greenhouse, jump into the mastermind. Whatever we can do so we can hang out, let's do that, because I love to meet you in any way that I can. Send me an email, Laura@sterlingandstonementoring.com. If you have questions, you want to chat about what any of these things could do for you, if you have questions about them, please let me know, because I believe that what is in you has been designed by God to be released to the world. And I want to help you figure out how you can use your story to guide other people. You've already gone through the path. You're doing all of this work to leave behind victimhood and become a hero in your own story, right? And as a coach, you get to become a guide to other people because of what you've done in your own story, because of what God's done in your story. And I want to help that story be shared with the world and bring great impact and influence many, many people. I want to help you do that, whatever way that I can. And I hope that you will just believe in yourself, invest in yourself, and sow into your calling so that you can partner with God in bringing the kingdom of heaven to earth the way you are called to do it through coaching. All right? I hope that you have a great day. I hope that you had a great Easter, and I bless the rest of your week to be full of possibility with Jesus. I so appreciate you as a listener. And if you are looking for a community of like-hearted believers who love all things coaching, be sure to jump into the Christian Life Coach Collective Facebook group. Do you think you might be called to become a certified Sterling and Stone life coach? We'll learn more about the Greenhouse course where you can get trained in just 10 weeks to start building the foundation of your coaching practice. All the links you need are in the show notes. Happy story making!